Hello everybody, welcome to the post-match press conference for South Africa. I'll just hand you over now to Sipakazi.
Good evening everybody, or afternoon everyone, and thank you for having us today, Mary. Just as usual, I think Mary's already gone through the housekeeping rules. Please remember to put your request to ask a question on the chat panel and to keep your monitors muted unless you're asking a question. We'll start with Telford.
Hello, Temba. Bad luck. Realistically, how many more runs do you think it would have taken to win this game?
118 was definitely not a poor score. I think it's a bit hard for me to say so because we really didn't bat well, barring Aiden, who was the only one who had any score of substance. Definitely not according to plan from a batting point of view. I think anywhere around 150, 160 would have been competitive.
Reminder everyone to please put your request to ask a question on the chat panel. Who'd like to go next? Thanks, Fidos.
Hi, Temba. Temba, we speak quite often about the balance of the side. Just what did you think today in terms of, could you have used maybe several extra batters, but, did you maybe need a longer batting lineup or some different bowling options?
Yeah, look, we went with the option of the extra batter, but that obviously didn't help our cause. So, as a team, we knew what the plan was. We were expecting the wicket to be a good one, hence we went with the extra batter. I thought the bowlers bowled quite well. There's no one that I can fault today in the bowling. So, if you're selecting 6 batters with an all-round at 7 and you're scoring 118, then I don't think you can exactly blame the plan. I think from a batting point of view, we know that there's a lot that we could have done, and we'll be looking to correct our wrongs in the next game.
Zayed Adams.
You spoke the day before the game about there were butterflies and nerves, and a lot of these guys played their first game in a major tournament. Do you think the occasion was just a little bit too big in that batting lineup this afternoon?
I wouldn't say so, to be honest. I think the guys are prepared quite well. In terms of the games, in terms of trying to deal with all those mental pressures. I can't remember a time where our batting has collapsed like that in the last while. So I'll put it down to that. It's not every day where your top 7, all of them fail. Obviously, like I said, excluding Aiden. So I wouldn't put it to the occasion, to the anxiety. I think it was more an execution thing. And we'll be, like I said, we'll be looking to correct our wrongs as batters.
Ben Horn.
Temba, were you surprised by Australia's tactic to go with 3 specialist fast bowlers? And is that something, do you think, that could work, could continue to work in the tournament in these conditions?
I wasn't surprised. In terms of our plan, we were always thinking that they were going to go with the 3 quicks up front. Australia obviously are a team that look to strike up front, and they back their seamers to do so. So we weren't surprised by it. Yeah.
Aditya is up next. Remind everyone to please put your request to ask a question on the chat panel.
Tough luck, Temba. My question is that after posting 118, what was the chat in the dressing room to come back and almost defend the score?
I think obviously it's obviously quite tough coming into that second half of the game, knowing that you've only posted 118. I think from the bowlers, we just asked them to stick to their plans and execute as well as they can. Fielders to throw everything out there, support the guys as much as they can, and just try to build pressure, let them make the mistakes. When the chances come, we try to take it. And I feel that's what we did in our bowling effort for a majority of that innings.
Nathan?
Temba, I must commend you. Yes, the side posted a low total, but the field strategy kept Australia under pressure. Just give us your brief comments on the team's overall batting and bowling performance, and what should we expect moving forward, especially against another formidable side in England.
Yeah, I think from a batting point of view, like I've said, that wasn't according to plan from the batters. So I mean, we've got a lot there that we need to improve. 118 is nothing to cry home about. And from a bowling, I think the bowlers did quite well to get it up to that point. I think probably from the end it did get a little bit frantic. So I think maybe that's a talking point for us as a team. Fielding was good, barring probably one or two incidents. I think going into the next game, which I think is on the 26th against the West Indies, we're obviously looking to improve and add a couple of percentages in our batting, bowling, as well as our fielding.
We'll wrap up with the last two. If you could please put your questions on the chat panel. Heinz.
Thanks, Ibkazi. Hi, Temba. I know you mentioned that the bowling attack in general, was very good, but I was just wondering if you could perhaps just tell us of the impact of Temba Shamsi, over the past year or so, actually, as your best bowler in your lineup. I mean, he's became the third South African to take 50 T20 international wickets for South Africa today. Just how important is that man to your team?
Yeah, Shamsi's been a massive performer for us in the last while. I think it's not by accident that he is the number one T20 bowler. We lean a lot on Shamsi as a bowling attack in terms of him taking wickets and controlling that middle phase. And today he did exactly that. He's an attacking option for us. I think a good foil with Keshav. And I think going forward we'll obviously be leaning on Shamsi's performances, and hopefully he can go from strength to strength.
We'll finish off with Zayed.
Temba, the group that you've got now, as you've added Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, and what's that challenge going forward now that if you looked at the beginning, you could possibly only lose one game. How much does impact now going forward in terms of the pressure, and does it just increase from here after the loss?
Yeah, I think the inclusion of Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, two subcontinent teams in subcontinent conditions obviously does make the group a lot tougher. The group was never an easy one, but I think we know that every game we're going to have to come out with our best cricket. So, I mean, with Sri Lanka and Bangladesh coming in, we'll be preparing with them as best as we can. Our next assignment now is the West Indies, and our focus will be there.